On baseball's biggest stage, they showed the world with their bats and with their arms what Houston strong really means. Win or lose, the Astros knew they could never lose their place in our hearts. Even when the odds were stacked against them and they were down to their last outs, this team, just like this city, refused to give up. Because victory is never assured, but neither is defeat. What is assured is if you pitch a little harder, run a little faster, stretch a little further, cheer a little louder, and if you believe a little deeper, you just might earn history.
Harvey brought Houston to its knees. We were a city in survival mode. 5 days after the storm, the rain stopped, the sun appeared. And then, on September 2nd,
a few days ago, people counted the city of Houston out. Well, no better symbol than the Astros. That's why we are playing ball today. So let's play ball.
And that's driven to deep left field.
Our Astros returned to Minute Maid Park, and play ball they did. As Houstonians battled to recover from the storm, the team marched into the playoffs, first beating the Red Sox.
Another 3-2. That's hard hit to second. The Astros are moving on to the American League Championship Series.
Next up, the Yankees. Suddenly, people rebuilding and starting over had something else on their minds, a World Series title.
We're playing for something more than ourselves, you know. There's thousands of people that lost everything. There's thousands of people that, you know, had anything but a plastic bag on their shoulder, and they came to support us.
It shows the unity of one city. Of coming through a very tragic situation that city has gone through. It's devastating.
I hope we're representing the city well, and our fan base and even non-fans that are in our community, that we can be something positive for the city.
The Astros had lifted the spirits of a battered city. But down 3-2 against the Yankees, our team needed a lift from us, and they got it.
Bird into center. Springer says he's got it. The Houston Astros win the pennant.
For only the second time in team history, the Astros were headed to a World Series. Like a script out of Hollywood, the Dodgers and Astros fought 7 hard games. And then sometimes the sweetest rewards come at just the right time.
Harvey gave us such a 1-2 punch that we needed something else to focus on.
We needed a pick-me-up. We needed some good news.
We knew it and felt it, and the city was behind this team, and they knew it.
We're just happy for the city. It gives something to get his arm around. The city was in bad shape, still a lot of work to do there. And I'm just happy for the fans and the city and the region.
They needed this. They needed to be able to rally around something. And we're just so happy and so proud that we could be those people, that inspiration for them.
It's more than a game. It's about life. It's about family. It's about celebration.
When the city needed a pickup, when the city needed someone to elevate it to another level, the Houston Astros stepped in.
It's hard to believe that we've gone from the depths of the ocean to the highest mountain we could ever think of.
And the Houston Astros have claimed that city's first ever World Series championship.
Where else is there to be today?
We're way overdue. We're proud of them.
Houston, we don't have a problem. We got a championship.
World Series, baby. Because we literally love the Astros.
Our players, our team, the hometown. Everybody's rooting for Houston.
Hey, Houston, we did it.
I just want to thank every single person here, every person in the city, every person in the state of Texas that believed in our team.
It's been a tough couple months. It really has given our family and our community a chance to have something positive to look forward to.
Did you guys ever step up today for our team, and our team stepped up for you in this city?
Yes, sir!
We weren't playing for you guys. We were all playing together. We won this World Series together.
We've been through a lot, and just brings us all together.
The city of Houston has been waiting a really long time for something like this.
And it's about time we brought something home for the great city of Houston.
It's meant so much to the city and to the people of the city, and for the Astros to pull through this whole series, it's been phenomenal.
This is just amazing. So thank you, Astros.
Thank you for these fans. Thank you for how you show up at the ballpark every day and bring it. Thank you for how much you love each other. And thank you for making Houston a championship city.
After the dust settled and the championship trophy is raised in the air, we went straight to the writer who got it right back in 2014.
You and Sports Illustrated called this.
It feels good. It certainly does. All credit go to the front office and the players of this incredible.
Ben Ryder from Sports Illustrated projecting the lowly Astros someday becoming the best team in baseball can now only be described as amazing.
Here's the most amazing thing about it. They told the world exactly what they were going to do, and now they've done it.
3 years ago, he saw firsthand how the Astros were mixing new age thinking with a dash of old school scouting. He and his editors then decided 2017 would be the year, and George Springer on the cover.
Everybody hated this cover when it came out. They thought
They hated it.
They hated it. They thought we were looking for clickbait. They thought we were just making some hot take. I'll tell you, there was a lot of consideration that went into that, as well as a 5,000-word article explaining why.
You break the Sports Illustrated cover jinx. You were the cover boy 3 years ago, MVP, and you win the World Series, buddy.
Yeah, this is just incredible.
And just as incredible, George Springer is now on another Sports Illustrated cover.
Obviously, 2017 is a big year. This team was built and went through all those terrible years, not just have one good year, but many of them.
And Ben, he's also predicting another title for these Astros next season, 2018.
This team's going to be in it for a long time.
Which is great news for Houston. After all, when was the last time Ben Ryder was wrong?
Perseverance. Perseverance is defined as steady persistence in a course of action, a purpose, a state, especially in spite of difficulties, obstacles, or discouragement.
Everybody's a kid from somewhere, and this is a dream for everyone. I just want to thank anybody that's ever helped me to get here.
Here come the Astros, burning with desire. Here come the Astros, breathing orange fire. Here come the Astros, with winning on their mind. Here come the Astros, #1 every time. Go, go, Astros. Go, go, Astros. Go, Astros.
There were no Colt 45s, no Astros up until 1960. Only the Houston Buffaloes, a minor league affiliate of the St. Louis Cardinals, the likes of Dizzy and Daffy Dean once competing at 8,000-seat Buff Stadium that's right near modern-day University of Houston. But Judge Roy Hoffhines changed things. After attending the owners' meeting in 1960, Houston was awarded a National League expansion team, what you may know as the Colt 45s. Quickly, they became one of the more colorful franchises in all of baseball. Ushers at Colt Stadium were known as the Triggerettes, parking lots designated as Wyatt Earp territory, the Stadium Club, a Gunsmoke-themed saloon replica dubbed the Fast Draw Club. Finally, professional baseball had arrived in Houston. But as the Colt 45s began, attention turned to a futuristic stadium. In 1962, ground was broken on the Harris County Dome Stadium. In 1964, Judge Hoffhines announced the Colt 45s would become the Astros, and the first of its kind stadium would be named the Astrodome, keeping in line with the city's burgeoning space program and its reputation as Space City. In 1965, the Astrodome opened for the first time, Hoffhines equipping the dome with luxurious skyboxes, a brightly colored seating bowl, and a scoreboard for the ages. But what about the team itself? In the first 3 seasons, the club won 196 games and lost 288. The team didn't make the playoffs until 1980. The 1970s marked mostly by a trade that sent Joe Morgan to the Reds, a trade some feel propelled the Reds to 2 World Series titles and one that doomed the Astros in the decade. 1980 saw the Astros get to the playoffs for the very first time. They won their first National League West title after defeating, ironically, the Los Angeles Dodgers in a 1-game playoff in the 163rd game of the regular season. In 1981, Nolan Ryan threw the 5th of his 7 no-hitters as a member of the Astros. In 1983, Ryan surpassed Walter Johnson as the all-time strikeout king. In 1986, the Astros made the playoffs again and lost to the Mets in the National League Championship Series. But that season forever will be remembered by Mike Scott's no-hitter to clinch the National League West, the first in Major League history to be thrown in this situation. Scott won the Cy Young Award that year. The 1990s saw several Astros playoff appearances, a team led throughout the decade by Jeff Bagwell and Craig Biggio, who earned the nickname the Killer Bees. But the team could never break through, and the 90s ended with a more significant end, the closing of the Astrodome. That was followed by a move to their new downtown ballpark, originally named Enron Field. A name change would follow to Minute Maid Park, along with the team's first ever trip to the World Series in 2005, a sweep at the hands of the Chicago White Sox. In 2007, franchise favorite Craig Biggio joined the 3,000 hit club. A slew of really bad seasons started in 2011, including 3 straight years where they lost 100 games. The team shifted leagues, and finally, 55 years after the franchise debuted, they broke through, bringing a World Series trophy to a town when it needed it the most.
World Series champion!
I tell you what, I have been doing this a long time, but this was one of the greatest postseasons when you think about all it took to get this done for the Astros.
And these Astros are world champs.
Finally is defined as after a long time, typically when there has been a difficulty or long delay.
So, but you've posted a picture of the pitcher.
Justin Verlander, yes. Well, this is probably my biggest interest in it this year. I happen to work out with, hey, there you go. I work out with the same trainer. I don't work out with Justin, but I work out with the same trainer that Justin works out with, and I met him at the gym, and he was the nicest human being.
So you became friends?
Well, not close, no, but
well,
we were in the gym at the same time.
I see, I see.
Just first blush, what do you think? Houston Astros, World Series champs.
Awesome. I didn't know if it was ever going to happen in my lifetime.
And as a fan, a lifelong fan myself, growing up in Galveston, I think the first word I could say is hallelujah. You know, just finally, thank gosh. You know, we came close in 05, and we certainly had teams in the past that were capable, I believe, but man, we finally got it done, and I think the city alone, and we all just took a big gasp of air. And
you go back to Springer, what he accomplished leading off in his ball club. He's hit close to 40 home runs when you combine both. 100 RBIs. This kid was an incredible year. Sure, he's going to have slumps. Who doesn't have a slump sitting right here? We all do. And then all of a sudden, this kid comes out of it, and he ignited that ball club so much, I think.
I don't know how many players could have rebounded the way he did. You know, 4 strikeouts every time out. I mean, you have to be really down and out, mentally, physically, and then the very next day to come back, hit an opposite field home run, helped the team win late. And then he ends up being the MVP of the World Series. Who could have forecasted that after the first game? I don't think anybody in their right mind would have said George is going to be the MVP.
I think he even said that talking to Beltran after the first game helped him out, helped him refocus on his approach at the plate. And just like you said, after striking out 4 times in the first game and then hitting a ball the opposite field for a home run, really gets a hitter back in the groove.
And we have to realize the importance of the senior Beltran and those players in the clubhouse, what they did for these young kids. With all the background he had and all the experience, to pass it on to these kids is critically important, especially when you look at a World Series time.
When Correa, the shortstop, got hurt, the third baseman went to shortstop. I think that united the players to a point where they say, well, togetherness, this is it.
Jeff Luhnow pulled the deal off, got Verlander, and all he did was win every time he went out there. So, I mean, without him, I don't know if we would have seen this take place. But
I'm not sure they need much of anything. I think the way they unify themselves and how they play the game on a daily basis and support one another, I think that's critically important. They have the talent. They have an incredible amount of young talent that can go on for 3 or 4 good years before anything changes.
The only thing that could stop this team from being very, very competitive next year is complacency. And I don't see that happening. I mean, they're young, hungry, first championship. They're going to want to go out and do it again. And
I think it's the best thing that could have happened, winning the World Series, but winning it in 7 and such adversity that they had to face leading into next year, instead of just going through and sweeping the Dodgers in 4 games and blowing them out every game. It might have boosted their confidence too much, so to speak. So it was a dogfight, and ultimately we came out on top. So winning it was great. Winning it in the fashion that we did was probably even better for the excitement of the fans in the city, but also for the players alone to go back next year and saying, man, hey, we won, but it took 7 games.
I think they will repeat because they beat 3 historical ball clubs, Boston, the Yankees, and the Dodgers, in good fashion.
Now, you guys are so great to come here on a short notice, but also we've heard from some other former Astros to hear what they've had to say about this 2017 ball club.
It's great to see what is predominantly a football town kind of swing to the baseball side of things, and for people to get excited about the Astros and to embrace baseball. This is a special team and a great time of the year, and the weather's cooperating. I mean, so it's to me it's fun to see everybody get into it and be so passionate about the Astros.
You got to give A.J. Hinch and his staff a tremendous amount of credit. Those guys are great. They're great in that clubhouse. It's one thing to go out and manage a team, but it's also you got to orchestrate personalities and egos at times and manipulate your gameplay and all that other stuff. And he was definitely the right man for the job. Has done an incredible job. His staff does. Jeff has done a great job, and obviously Jim has done an amazing job in spending the money and letting the organization do what it had to do. And
oh, you'd love to have been on this team. You know, that's a pitcher's dream. You know, it's like the Big Red Machine. Those are the kind of teams you always hope you get a chance to pitch for.
You were on a pennant winner with the Dodgers.
1974, yeah.
How do you compare that team to this team?
The thing about it was 1974, when I went to spring training, I told the owners that you guys got me here to help you win the pennant. We are going to win the pennant, National League pennant. I went back to the bungalow and I said to myself, looked in the mirror, I said, what in the hell you think you doing? you sitting up here, you standing up here and you guaranteed the Dodgers that they're going to win the 1974 championship. We did it. Thank you, God. Yeah, Lord. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Strong. Strong is defined as able to withstand great force or pressure.
Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Mike.
the Insperity Club at Minute Maid Park, but not too long ago, it was the stadium's press box. And for yours truly, it was where a journalism career began. You see, back then, I would come to games with my grandfather, and we would write for a small Spanish newspaper called La Información. That newspaper is still around, and there are so many Latin players on the team that I thought I'd go back to my roots a little bit. From here on out, este reportaje va a ser solamente en español.
Astros! ¡Ra, ra, ra!
Hay una razón por la que llaman a esto la Serie Mundial.
De verdad que es algo único, es algo que tú sueñas de que eres pequeño y lo logras.
Solo le tienes que preguntar al receptor del bullpen de los Astros, Carlos Muñoz, quien ha visto de primera mano de qué se trata este equipo. ¿Cómo puedes describir el equipo este?
Esto es como una familia ya. Hermanos pequeños, tíos, o sea, así nos sentimos.
Estos Astros juegan con pasión.
Viene el Juli, primer lanzamiento, le tiró, palo profundo por el left, se va. ¡Viva Cuba! ¡Viva Cuba!
Con amor por una ciudad.
Y ahí viene otro trueno, Correa bateando profundo entre dos, el back to back, la va a sacar el boricua, se va.
Que llevan con orgullo en su pecho.
Estoy muy orgulloso de cada uno de nosotros aquí. Eso es lo que significa la camisa, todos los 25 peloteros que estamos aquí.
Y tengo 65 años y es mi primera vez. Fabuloso.
El 27% de los jugadores en las grandes ligas provienen de Latinoamérica. En la lista de los playoffs de los Astros hay 8.
Hemos salido obviamente de familias humildes y pobres y pues llegar hasta aquí este momento, de verdad que no podemos perder el foco de donde vinimos, pero a la misma vez tenemos que disfrutar de este momento.
Correa, Altuve y González no son de aquí, pero ¿cuáles son las emociones para ti jugar un juego como ese?
Un sueño hecho realidad desde niño, cuando juegas al frente de tu casa con tus amigos y simulas estar en una serie mundial, eso es lo que estamos viviendo ahora mismo cada uno de nosotros.
Y después de lo que sucedió,
fue un momento bastante difícil para la ciudad. Eso es una de las cosas que nos ha motivado bastante.
No querrían estar en ningún otro lado.
Y el pueblo de Houston están atrás de ti, están atrás de ustedes. De verdad que sí, el pueblo de Houston lo que nos ha dado es un cariño inmenso, de verdad que es mi segunda casa y cada vez que saco el terreno también lo hago por ellos.
Tiene la bola Altuve, tira primera y se acabó el juego. Los Astros de Houston son campeones de la Serie Mundial 2017.
The Houston Astros are world champions for the first time in franchise history.
Dried tears, empty champagne bottles, remnants of the most memorable season in Astros history.
Oh, yeah.
The elation of winning a World Series now morphs into a different yet equally satisfying feeling: pride. Houston carries plenty of it. Through despair and resilience,
Anybody in there, we are here to rescue and help.
through heartbreak,
I have a second life.
and strength. Those long August days
And it just passed midnight.
turned into long October nights.
2 on, 2 out. 10th inning. That's in the air to left. Here comes Fisher.
And a city watched, captivated at the ballpark and parked at the bar, in a safe space at home and aboard the International Space Station 240 miles above.
Thanks for being Houston strong. Stay Astros strong.
The Johnson Space Center is 25 miles from Minute Maid Park. About the same distance of a George Springer home run. The Space Center is home to Houston's other team of Astros.
The Astros, how can you be proud of a team that's named after what you're doing, trying to go in and explore space?
Senior robotics engineer Lucian Junkin is not alone. That pride runs throughout the center's 3,000 plus employees, from robotics engineer Justin Ridley to the center's director Ellen Ochoa, the first Hispanic woman to go to space.
It is different. It is different when it's named after what you do.
A big part of our city is the Space Center down here, so it's
it's nice to have a symbol to kind of represent that.
You know, our baseball team changed its name and became the Astros, and so that's an even closer tie to this particular team than to our other teams as well.
Hero in Houston. All of these years later, there's still a strong tie between Houston, manned space flight, NASA, and the Astros. It's very cool.
NASA has 4 core values to mission success. The most powerful one, according to NASA's handbook, is teamwork.
Shot into left center field, back at the wall, it's gone!
And Houston carries plenty of it. Through the most challenging moments, on the backs of hope and faith, this city doesn't quit. Because the strong always prevail.
Teamwork. Teamwork is defined as cooperative or coordinated effort on the part of a group of persons acting together as a team or in the interest of a common cause.
Everyone came through, man. Throughout this whole season, we don't get where we are without every single person on this team. You know, we're all part of this, and we're not here without every single one of the guys who's contributed.
An outsider can savor a city's sunrise, but not know its secrets. An outsider can admire a city's pride, but not live its pain. An outsider can acknowledge a city's newfound motto, but not feel why that motto endures.
Yes, sir. What's going on? Good, good. Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you.
I am an outsider, from Atlanta in Houston for the World Series. Wherever I look, I see Houston strong, and I get it, to a point. I want to know what I don't get, so I settled blocks from the ballpark with 2 chairs and 1 question. Explain Houston strong to an out-of-towner.
What is that?
Turns out,
man.
that question.
What are the things that only Houstonians understand about this?
Takes thought.
Oh my.
Outsiders know about Hurricane Harvey. We watched the coverage and remember the damage. Insiders can conjure memories in an instant.
And then we look all around and we're literally driving in an ocean.
And everyone has a memory.
I can tell it's difficult for you to talk about now, and it's been 2 months.
It's Jason Abeldano is a firefighter.
Something you deal with. You see their homes are just gutted or torn apart. You're just, you wish you could have done more. That Houston Strong is they have someone to reach out to.
Outsiders can imagine what Houston Strong meant in Harvey's aftermath. Insiders know why it matters today.
Houston Strong, I guess I'm one of them.
Kevin Vornkall was living in a home in Pine Valley. Now he's at a shelter on Emancipation.
I'm one of the survivors and stuff, and if I had a lot of money, I'd be dishing it out to help the people that need it.
For so many who sat down, Houston Strong remains an intangible boost on the long road back.
It's not Houston Strong right after the storm or Houston Strong a week after the storm or Houston, it is continuous.
Houstonians are always so happy.
Even now.
Right, and you can just find a reason to see the good.
What's good right now? A white H over an orange star.
What have the Astros meant for all of this?
During the day, you can be out there repairing your house. End of the day, the game comes on and everybody can huddle around the TV and root for the home team.
Does it matter if they win at this point?
It always matters if they win.
Here's what this outsider learned. Houston Strong is not a memento. It is not a relic, a reminder of what happened. It is a symbol of what's happening.
Using that hashtag to raise funds or continue to clear the streets.
Wanting to become a role model to the rest of the nation and possibly even the world.
We're not going to leave anybody hanging, come hell or high water. and the high water came, we're out there to go get them and help them.
Confidence. Confidence is defined as the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something. Firm trust.
Daniela Rodriguez, you make me the happiest man in the world. Will you marry me? Will you marry me?
I've been watching World Series since Trigger was a colt, and this is about the best World Series I can remember. And it's just not myself, but sports writers are saying it's one of the best of all time. Just to thrill a minute, I bite my fingernails down to practically the raw place and eat more bags of Fritos and consume more Diet Dr. Pepper and occasionally adult beverage than I should. But a tip of the old Stetson to both the Astros and the Los Angeles Dodgers. What a World Series.
He wears 90, but there's another number which fits superfan Don Marley to a T, as you're about to find out.
Do you remember the wins or the losses more?
I've seen so many that there's just no particular game I can remember. Of course, I'm 93 now.
Yes, Don is 93, so this season ticket holder and the Astros go way back to the early 70s.
Yeah.
It's so far, the team allowed us to come to the ballpark early and chat with him before the season started.
I always like to get here early on dollar hot dog nights.
When not sitting here, or the other seats he's had, Don's been to spring training, golf tournaments, and once even threw out a first pitch to his favorite player, Craig Biggio.
And he was a catcher.
And for his 90th birthday, the Astros gave him that number 90 jersey. But Don Marley could also wear number 1. After all, he may be the oldest season ticket holder the Astros have. Don's intention was always to make every single game, and he still feels that way.
He still drives. Is that right?
Yes, I hate for Houston to find that out. Yes, he does.
You can imagine then how difficult it was for Don to be away from the ballpark. A month after meeting him, he had a mini stroke. Thankfully, though, this number 1 season ticket holder
Good to see you, sir.
was able to see the Astros become number 1. Don attending Game 4 of the World Series with family. And while that game was a loss, just being there was a win.
What will it mean to you for the Astros to win a World Series?
It'll be the greatest thing we've ever had. I've loved this game all my life, and I want to stay with it.
History. History is defined as acts, ideas, or events that will or can shape the course of the future. Immediate but significant happenings.
This trophy is for everybody in Houston, everybody that has supported this club since 1962, for Terry Poole and Jose Cruz and Mike Scott, Bagwell, Biggio, Bob Ashramani, Nolan Ryan, J.R. Richard, Bob Nepper, everybody that has ever put on an Astros uniform.
To Springer. Shot into left center field. Back at the wall. It's gone. Springer stays hot.
So the Astros have won the World Series.
Houston, we have a championship team and no one can take that away from us.
That was pretty fun, right? But in this world we live in, we're always wondering what's next. So for these guys, where do they go from here? First things first.
Hey guys, we're in Disney World!
World Series champions 2017. That's what I'm talking about.
The next landmark to visit? Well, all champions go to the White House. That is everyone but the Golden State Warriors, which is why this is even an issue.
We're not going to allow anything to polarize this moment that we want to celebrate with our fans.
The White House stands for stands for a lot, and I would be crazy not to want to go and see that firsthand.
And then some much-needed R&R. Just ask Lance McCullers Jr.
Everyone keeps asking me, like, I could go on a trip or, whatever, and I'm like, look, man, I'm probably going to be in the house a lot.
But while all this is going on, the front office already building the 2018 version.
Fortunately, there are very few times when you win a World Series and almost your entire team is coming back. We may not make as many transactions this year as we made last year because we've got a lot of guys coming back, but we'll address whatever upgrades we think are out there. And as soon as AJ gives me that list, I'll get to work on it.
You know what? The holidays are close. That Christmas list will come pretty soon.
So how will the roster look? Well, the Astros have already picked up contract options on Jose Altuve and Marwin Gonzalez. As far as free agents go, they have 4: Carlos Beltran, Luke Gregerson, Francisco Liriano, and Cameron Maybin. The old guy in the group, Beltran, well, he's probably going to retire. Luke Gregerson, he can come back, but those details still being worked out.
We're going to have the same issue next year where we have more starters than we have positions in the rotation, and some of those guys are probably going to end up in the bullpen again. We've got a lot of our relievers coming back. We've got guys in the minors that are knocking at the door that are going to be here soon. So we'll figure out a way to piece together a pitching staff that we feel can get us through the regular season and also add to it if necessary to help us in the postseason. But
one thing is certain, you win one of these, the urge to bring home another only gets stronger.
And to watch our guys, these are the biggest smiles, the best celebrations, the best hugs you can possibly imagine on a baseball field. It's thrilling. There's nothing like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for the American League champion Houston Astros.
Right-handed batter, and Keuchel's first pitch is a swing and a high fly ball. Left field, it's headed for the bleachers, and it's gone on the first pitch. Altuve into right center field, should end it. Puig is there. Dodgers win game 1.
And Marwin lifts this one pretty deep to left center field. Taylor on his horse going back at the wall. That's gone! Marwin has tied it at 3. Here's a 2-1. And Springer drives one pretty deep to right center field. And that ball is gone! Springer and the Astros are back on top.
Struck him out, and the Astros win it 7-6. The Astros have their first World Series win in franchise history.
2-1. And that's ripped deep to left field, and you can kiss that one goodbye. And it's 1-0 Astros. Breaking ball, and that's hit pretty well and pretty deep to left center. Taylor is going back on the warning track. He leaps, and he can't get it. It's off the pillar. Reddick around third, and he will score.
That's into center. It is caught. Tagging coming to the plate. Gonzalez throw too late. 4-0 Astros.
Another 2-2. And Grandal hits it high in the air to right. Reddick over toward the line, waiting for it to come down. Reddick makes the catch, and that is the ball game.
3-1. High fly ball to left. 1-0 Houston. Springer goes deep.
So Bellinger lines one into left center field for a base hit. Bellinger with a double. There goes the runner, and a fly ball to right. Reddick going back. It's a 3-run home run for Jock Peterson. The Dodgers explode in the 9th. You like that? And he lifts this one. Left field. Arriba. Gurriel. We're tied.
Another 3-2 and a high fly ball. Tie game. High fly ball. Goodbye. One pitch to Springer, and we're tied again.
The pitch is hit hard to left field. It's over his head. Bregman's got a chance to score. He's racing. Here comes the throw to the plate. Not in time. Astros lead. Correa pops it to left. Onto the warning track. It's gone.
Taylor ties it. 12-12.
First pitch. And Alex lines this into left center field. That's a base hit. Fisher around third and coming home. Ethier up with the baseball. The throw to the plate. Not in time. Astros win. Astros win.
Peterson hits it in the air to left. Back at the wall. It's gone. And he's made it 3-1 Dodgers in in the 7th.
Jansen to Beltran. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Dodgers win 3-1, and tomorrow night there will be a 7th game of the World Series.
The 3-2. And George drills this one deep to left center field. You can kiss that one goodbye. A 2-run home run for George Springer. And the Astros lead it 5-0.
Left side. What a play by Bregman. He's done it all postseason. Runner goes on a soft liner caught by Gurriel. And now the Dodgers have stranded 8.
Corey Seager, the batter, and a swing and a ground ball for Altuve out of the outfield grass. On to first. And the Houston Astros have claimed that city's first ever World Series championship.